Hey everyone, Burial Ryuuta here, Captain Oni Slayers at your service. No need to pray, we're here to slay and bring about. Oh yeah, right, I gotta do my knuckle cracks. There we go. Bring about a brighter day. It wouldn't. The stream wouldn't feel the same if I didn't do the knuckle crack. I gotta do it every single time. By the way, how's everyone doing tonight? Hope you guys are doing well on this Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, afternoon, wherever you're at. It's like I'm finally free from the cage, which means, well, then again, I'm still gonna be like busy, cause shoot, I still gotta pack for my trip next week, and oh yeah, I still need to put out like an actual announcement saying like, oh hey, I'm gonna be gone after next Monday. I'm gonna be gone for the rest of the year, and the first 2 weeks of January. By the way, welcome to the stream, Cosmic. Glad you can make it. And yes, you are early. Hell, I'm early. Well, actually, no, I'm still late to my own streams, but earlier than the times I've been late at recently, at the very least. But yeah, we're back with some more GODOT learning. We're still, we're still grinding away. We need to make that. One of these days, we're gonna make that game. But first, we gotta learn what the tools that we are working with. And yeah, with these courses, which by the way, these courses cost like a lot of fucking money, but because they put it on Humble Bundle, I got them for like a nice cheap cost. So last week we were learning about the different types of lighting, how to change materials, units of measurement. What else we do? Wait, did we learn? Oh yeah, actually we started with 3D in general last time. That said, I probably should have reviewed my notes. It's like that's gonna be a recurring theme. Me not reviewing my notes because I've been too goddamn busy. But oh well, we can still follow along with everything. But today, so I saw the next lesson. The next lesson is gonna be in scripting. So. Yeah, unfortunately, I don't have any pairs of programming socks on me, so this might be a rough one. Let's just say. And once again, this is going to be a pretty boring stream, all things considered. So if you don't want to stick around for it, hey, that's perfectly fine. If you want to put it on in the background, that's also perfectly fine as well. So yeah, feel free to do whatever it is you want to do. Okay. Oh, looks like are we back from ads, or did it just go into ads? Oh god, I think it probably went into ads. Oh well, that gives me enough time to oh shoot, I didn't put out my tweet. Okay, there we go, now I did. Alright. But yeah, that gives me some time to look up some music. Where is it? Oh, perfect, right here. Alright, so I got my background music all nice and ready to go, so... Alright, we're gonna throw that on. Where is it? Alright, let me see, how's that, So yeah, right about there. Well, maybe a little bit more. Yeah, I think right there should be good. All right, let's get back to work. Oh yeah, right. Let me mark off this section. Jeez, as much as I probably would have preferred to take a make this like a game streaming day, I was like, screw it. I don't feel like changing my schedule around because yeah, I don't know, I was too lazy. All right, let's go.
Hey everyone, in this lesson we are going to be looking at scripting inside of the Godot engine. Now, scripting is a very powerful thing, and it basically allows us to write code which we can use to create whatever game we wish. So, first of all, what is scripting? Well, at its core, scripting is how we can create the gameplay behaviors and logic for our game.
Alright, let me write that down. Because, yeah, I don't know anything about programming, so definitely want to write some of this stuff down when I get the chance. One of the things I love about doing this through these videos is that I can go at my own pace. Cause I'm a really big dummy, so just being able to go at whatever pace I can is really helpful.
Okay, and this is done via creating what's known as a script. And a script is essentially a file which we can create in the file system. Okay, so it's an asset, and this is essentially just a text document which we fill with code. And then what we can do...
Hold on. Let me go back a little bit. Created. Oh, whoops. Let's get back up here.
And then what we can do is we can attach that script to a node. Okay, each node at the bottom in the inspector, you may have already seen this, has a script property where we can assign a single script. And then that script can do certain things to that node. Okay, for example, if we have a player, we'll want to attach a player script to the player's node, where it can then influence its position based on keyboard inputs. Or if you have some sort of enemy AI, you might want to attach that to the enemy. So let's hop over into Godot right now and look at how we can create a script. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to pretty much figure out what node we want to attach our script to. Now, just for demonstrational purposes, I'm just going to select our root node right here, and...
Okay, and I need to jump back. Like, let me jump back into the, jump into a script scene. I'll save, let's see, I'll save this scene now as... let me move this over for a sec. God, I got like a lot of stuff on my desk this time. Well, actually, honestly, I could probably move this out of the way. Oh yeah, let me move this out of the way. Yeah, Twitch Auto Mod's still like still catching all of those. You should know, it's honestly Cosmic, you should know this by now. Alright. I will forever try. I mean, it's like it just have to come up to me to actually unlock it, but whatever. All right. Okay, I'll call the scripting scene 2D. Am I doing okay? I'm doing alright, but I'm a bit tired. I'm drinking enough water. I feel like I'm not. That's like I ate dinner. I don't know if I'm drinking enough water. I have water right here. Hear that? That's the water. Yeah, I made some before my stream. Drink it all. This is a. This is a, like, I don't know how many, like, how big this this canister is. It's pretty fucking big. So I think so. It is like I'm not gonna drink it all at once. Let's just say. But yeah, also I just remembered I am also trying to ruin my sleep because I'm traveling to another country next week, so I'm trying to like ruin my sleep pre that trip. So I might be a bit groggy during these next streams this week, but yeah, don't worry about it, because it is not gonna be anything compared to the jet lag I'm gonna feel once I get back. Lots of photos. Yeah, you know, I'll post photos in the Discord server for everyone to see. Maybe not all of them. It depends on which ones I decide to show, but yeah, I'll send some pictures your guys' way for those who can't. Who can't go to Comic Cat. Am I taking a ride? Nah, it's me and another friend that's close by. Rod is probably, he either has his own plans for yeah, I'm gonna be gone for a while, so I don't think Arata can afford to stay away from work for that long period of time. Hell, I'm still gonna even have to bring my work laptop with me.
I'm going to go over to the inspector, and you'll see here we have our script property, okay? And right now it is empty, meaning there is no script attached. So let's create one and attach it. Now to do this, we could right click in the file system and create it that way, or we can just click on the little drop down here next to the script property and go new script. That's going to open up this attach node script.
Wait, go back. Okay. Excuse me.
Property and go new script.
Alright.
That's going to open up this attach node script window, and this is where we can choose a bunch of different settings, but really for us, we just want to go down to where it says path. And this is where we can change the name of our script. So I'm just going to call this one intro to scripting.gd. Click create, and it is going to do two things.
Oh,
it's going to first of all create a brand new intro to scripting.gd file down here in our file system. And secondly, it's going to switch us over into the scripting screen, okay? Before we were in 2D, we also have 3D, and then it goes over to scripting.
Okay.
Which is where we can write down our code. Now, there's a couple things already inside of the script editor right here. Some text, and pretty much just like Word or any other text editor.
Oh yeah, let me also do it on my end so you guys can see. So what he did was this. So inside of here, so he also clicked on No TD, which I did already, and then over here on the right. Oh, let me move the wigglies out of the way. Yeah, so over here, click that, and then go over here to where the inspector is. Then again, you guys can't even see my mouse, but you can see that thing getting highlighted. And then down here, right here, there's like a script option and drop down. What you can do is just click the arrow, do new script, and then I'll just call this intro to scripting. Oh. Also doesn't help that I can't see my keyboard. Then hit create. And then voila, they made the into the scripting is right in here. And then we have this stuff right here. This is like, if you've ever seen any coding stuff, you'll know that I don't understand any of this shit. But maybe with these lessons, I'll start to figure it out. And then maybe I might be able to figure out what the fuck Kitty ever sends me when it comes to all that code she sends me.
Click around and we can type stuff in. Okay, so it's pretty much a text editor, but specifically designed for the Godot scripting language, which is called GDScript. Okay, if you do have any prior knowledge with programming, then just know that GDScript is very similar to Python, okay? But you don't need to know anything whatsoever about programming or coding in order to follow along with this course. We are going to go through everything from scratch. So you can see here that we have all of our code written down, which is just the default.
It's like I was getting getting messed up there.
Code it gives us right now. On the left hand side, we have a list of all of the different scripts that we have. Okay, so later on in your game, when you have dozens of scripts, you'll probably want to be jumping between them to write code, edit stuff. So this is where that list will appear. And then down here, we have all of our methods, okay, listing out our methods, and we'll get into what those are in a future lesson. And what differs this from just opening up Notepad or opening up any other word processor is because this piece of Godot is specifically designed.
Gay sex. Alright, welcome to the stream, Billy. Glad you can make it. Then again, this is a bit of a boring learning stream, so you don't need to stick around, but if you're feeling eepy like you usually do, this could be a good sleeping aid for you. By the way, how are you doing? I hope you're doing well on this Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, afternoon, wherever you're at.
For writing GDScript. And that means we have what's known as code formatting.
I swear, I've seen the word sex not automatic, but gay sex is. Yeah, it's kind of weird how Twitch automod automatically censors that term, but not just sex in itself. What do they mean by this?
And that pretty much means that whenever we write down our code, you can see that certain things are different colors, okay? We have some pink stuff, some green, some purple, some blue, okay? It colors our code based on what we are writing, okay? Because the program knows what we are doing, okay? It knows the language we are trying to write in, and it colors the code based on that. And that just makes
does it allow you to say gay AF as fuck?
Makes it a lot easier to look at and identify certain things. As well, typically these sort of programs also have autocorrect, okay? Which basically means that when you're writing down code, it tries to estimate and assume what you want to do, and it will pop up with a window with a bunch of different things.
Okay, that
so
works.
if you're not quite sure on what a certain thing was called in the language, you can begin typing it, and a box will appear, and it might have your answer right there. Okay, so. So we'll get into all of that later on. But for now, we have our script here inside of Godot ready to be edited. Okay, so we can save this. And in the next lesson, we are going to be going over the concept of variables. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all then.
Like, what were you doing? Yeah, that's a good question. What were you doing? 'Cause shoot, I don't even know what you were last up to. Am I making a nuclear bomb? No, a pipe bomb. It's going inside someone's mailbox. Nah, no. I was like, who do I look like? Oppenheimer? Alright, let's continue onward. Next lesson.
Welcome back, everyone. In this lesson, we are going to be learning about variables. Now, first of all, what is a variable? Well, basically, a variable is a piece of data which we can define, read, and change the value of. Okay, it's basically this piece of data that we save to memory, and we have the ability to utilize it. Now, you can think of it like a box. Okay, we can give a variable a
Oh wait,
name
hold on.
and
Let me
assign
write
it
that
a
down.
value.
Yeah, part of me is thinking like maybe I shouldn't have did a learning stream today because my brain is gonna be dead. I should just do some gaming or something. Oh well.
And change the value of. Okay, it's basically this piece of data that we save to memory, and we have the ability to utilize it. Now, you can think of it like a box. Okay, we can give a variable a name and assign it a value. Okay, and at any time we can try and find the box that might say player's health, and inside of that we have a value, a number, for example, and we can look at that number so we know what it is. We can also change. It, add to it, subtract it, multiply it, pretty much anything we want to do with it. Okay, and there are also different types of variables. Okay, there are whole numbers, decimal numbers, text. There are a bunch of different variable types that we will be going over. So let's hop over into Godot and have a look at how we can start creating some variables. Okay, so here we are inside of our script. Now, the first thing we want to do is go to the right location to start creating our variables, okay? Now, you'll see we have this extend node 2D line of code right here. Pretty much, we just want to go to a line or a couple lines underneath it, okay? And what we are going to do is we are going to create a variable. Now, let's just say we want to create a variable that keeps track of a player's score, okay? Well, to do that, we have to define the variable. Now, to define a variable, we first of all have to write down the keyword var for variable, add a space, we need to give the variable a name, so I'm going to write down score, and then we can go equals and give it a value. Now, let's say score equals 0 by default, okay? And there we go. var score equals 0. var, which is the keyword which defines a variable, score, which is what we are calling our variable, equals 0, okay? We are assigning it a value of 0. So we've created a variable. Now, what do we do with it? Well, for right now, let's just print it to the output so we can actually see what it is. Now, printing basically means we are logging a message to the output down here, okay? You see at the bottom left here, we have the output.
Wait, hold on.
Logging a message.
Oh my god. I honestly don't know if I can, like, do... Okay, you know what? Let's try. I want to make it... I'm going to try to at least make it through the variable section. Then... Yeah, make it through the variable section, because, man, I don't know how much... I don't know if my brain can actually, is actually going to be able to retain this information. Because, yeah, I'm a little bit tired. Alright, we'll try, though. We'll try. First, let me do this. Like, dice. Nah, don't die yet. Don't die yet.
For right now, let's just print it to the output so we can actually see what it is. Now, printing basically means we are logging a message to the output down here, okay? You see at the bottom left here, we have the output. We can click on that, and that's going to open up the console, the output. And pretty much we can log messages here. Whenever we get errors in our code, that is where they'll appear as well. So you'll probably want to have this open most of the time when you're starting out, as it's very handy in catching all the little errors that you might write down. So how do we print our score variable down here to the output? Well, we want to go down to this thing right here where it says func ready, okay? And this here is basically what's known as a function. We're going to get into what functions are a bit in the future, but right now just know that a function is a block of code that can be called at any time.
Yeah, I'm going to write that down. I feel like I remember that from my scripting class.
Just know that a function is a block of code that can be called at any time. And the ready function gets called right at the start of the game to initialize stuff. So what we can do is remove this line of code where it says pass and write down print in 2 brackets, score, okay? Now what this is going to do is it is going to print, and then in between these 2 brackets here, we want to basically add in what we want to print, in our case, score. So Control S to save, and then press the play button, and let's see what happens. Okay, I press play, and if we look over here in the output, we can see the number 0. Now we can stop playing that. We can then change score, for example, to be 5. Let's save that, press play, and down here in the output, as you can see, it prints 5, which is great. Okay, so we have the ability to create variables and print them out. Now, we also need to go over the concept of variable types. Now, the way Godot is, or the way GDScript is that it is what's known as a dynamic language, meaning we don't have to hard define specifically what we are doing and what we want.
Wait, hold on. What is it called again?
Is that it is what's known as a dynamic language.
Okay, that's interesting.
Meaning we don't have to hard define specifically what we are doing and what we want. And that allows us a lot of flexibility, but generally I'd say it's best practice, especially early on, to define the data types of your variables. And by that I mean when we create a variable, we need to basically tell it what type of variable it is going to be. So in our case we have score. And score is a number. In our case, it's going to be a whole number, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, etc. So what I'm going to do is after where we write down score, I'm going to add a colon, go space, and then write down the word int, okay, for integer. And that is a type of variable. An integer is a whole number. And that is a type of variable. An integer is a whole number. So this basically means that we are just defining score as being a variable that is a whole number. Now, what about other variable types? Well, let's go down to a new line here, create another variable, and this time we are going to create a variable of type float, which is a floating point number. So something that may have a decimal number in it might be the player's move speed. So move speed colon float equals, and then we can say like 2.53. Okay, there we go. So an integer is a whole number, a float is a decimal number. Now you see here how I've written my variables. Okay, they're all lowercase and they have a underscore wherever there would be a space, because in programming spaces are a big no-no. Okay, if you're trying to make a name for something, you cannot have a space, otherwise that will cause an error. Okay, so in variable here we need to give it an underscore or just have no space at all. And this type of code formatting is known as snake case, and it's generally considered the general practice when it comes to GDScript. Everything here lowercase with underscores where you would put spaces. You can see here with the ready function we have an underscore there and a underscore for the process function. Okay, it's all lowercase. Now, as well as move speed, we also have another variable type, which is a boolean. And a boolean is a variable that has either 2 options, true or false. So I can create...
Wait, that's what it says?
Now, as well as move speed, we also have another variable type, which is a boolean. And a boolean is a variable that has either 2 options, true or false. So I can create a variable here called game. over of type bool, and this can be equal to true. Okay, there we go. So game over, it's going to be true, or it can be false. So true or false for a boolean, and it's very good for those things where you want an on and off state, for example. So game over is a good one. Maybe if you want to keep track of if the player has something equipped, you could have a boolean for that. And then finally, one more data type we're going to look at is a string. Okay, and a string is text.
All right.
Now, the way we create a string is a bit different. Okay, and a string is text. Now, the way we create a string is a bit different. We have to go var, we'll just call this one ability of type string with a capital S this time. And this is going to be equal to, and we need to put 2 double quotation marks, and we can just put in here slash or some sort of ability, okay? And there we go. So the way we define a string is by using the string data type, but this one has a capital S, okay, unlike bool, float, and int. And to write down a string value, we need to put it in these quotation marks, and you can see that with our formatting, it has turned it into this sort of brownish gold color, okay, to denote that this is a string. Now, a cool thing about variables is that not only can we read them, we can also modify their values. So down here in the ready function, we're printing out score. Let's go ahead and print out move speed, okay, just so we can see what it looks like. So we can then press play, and you'll see down here in the output, we have 2.53, okay, so that's all working fine. Well, what we can do is we can change move speed. So let's say just before we want to print it, so we'll go to a new line here, we can go move speed equals, and then we can change that to something like 5.1, okay? So now, if we save that and press play, we should see 5.1 in the output because we are changing it. And that's something else that I need to go over, and that is the order of execution, okay? When it comes to pretty much every coding language, there is what's known as an order of execution. And that basically means that it runs one command at a time, okay? In our case, lines. So when the ready function gets called, it looks at its contents and it runs it from the top down, okay? So it goes move speed equals 5.1, then it prints it out. And what we can do then is also go move speed equals 500.156, and then we can print that value out as well, okay? So what do you think this is going to look like when we press play? Okay, we're going to have 2 things printed out, and if I press play, as you can see, 5.1, 500.5 or 0.156, okay? And that is because we are first of all setting move speed to equal 5.1, we are printing that value out, we are then changing move speed to equal this new number, and then we are printing it out.
Okay, now we're on the next part.
Welcome back, everyone. In this lesson, we are going to continue on with creating variables, okay? So in the previous lesson, we looked at how we can define variables up here and give them a data type, okay? A data type is basically telling the variable what type of value it can hold. In our case, for score, it is of type int, which is an integer, and that means it can hold whole numbers, okay? 1, 2, 3, 4, 1,000, 10,000, 200, okay? Then we have move speed, which is a variable that is of type float. And a float is a decimal number, okay? This can be much more precise in terms of what numbers you can store. Then we have game over, which is of type boolean, or bool, we write here. And that is basically a variable which can be true or false, okay? On or off. And then finally, we have looked at a string variable, which is which is basically text, okay? And we define the value by putting it in quotation marks right here. And then down here in the ready function, which gets called right at the start of the game, you can even see there's a little comment up here which explains what the ready function does. We are basically assigning move speed to equal a new value. We are printing that new value out to the output window here. We are then changing the move speed again and printing the new value out to the output. And we also looked over the idea of order of execution, which basically means that since we are working with a computer, it has to execute one thing at a time, okay? And in our case with programming, it goes line by line. So when the ready function here gets called at the start of the game, it is first of all calling this line of code, then this line of code, and this line of code.
Oh god, I dozed off for a second. Oh man. Yeah, definitely after this one, I'm probably just gonna call the stream just after the variables quiz, cause yeah, I don't know if I do not know if I can keep myself conscious for this
game. It is first of all calling this line of code, then this line of code, then this line of code, then this line of code. Okay, it goes down, and that is a core concept that you do need to keep in mind when writing your code. Now let's remove this here, and let's look at, for example, how can we change some of these other variables. So let's say we want to change game over, okay? Let's just say something happens and the game is suddenly over. Well, we can go game over equals true, okay? And that is going to change that value from false to true.
Oh.
Print that out. So game over like so. Save it, press play, and down here in the output, you can see it says true, all right? Now, we can also do the same thing for strings, okay? And to change a string variable, it's pretty much the same as everything else. We just need to go ability equals, and then in 2 double quotation marks, we can enter in a new string for this variable. And for this new string, let's just say we want to go heal, okay? A heal ability. And there we go. So we can then go to a new line, print out the ability variable, save that, press play, and there we go. It says true and heal. Okay, so as a bit of a challenge, I want you to go ahead and create 4 variables which are going to be used to define a country.
Oh, jeez.
And each of these variables should be using a different data type. Okay, and the 4 variables that you need to create is going to be a country name, a population, a highest altitude, and whether or not that country is landlocked, okay? Does that country have access to the sea? So each of those variables need to have a different data type, and then I also want you to go ahead and print all of these 4 variables out inside of the ready function so that when we press play, we can see them in the output. So have a go at that, and I'll be right back to see how you've done.
Okay, this is gonna be tough. Let me swap things around. Cause yeah, I'm pretty sleep deprived at the same time too. So here's the challenge. So we need to create 4 variables to define a country. So we need a variable that could define the country name, a variable to define its population, a variable to define the highest altitude, and a file to determine if it's landlocked or not. And we have to use 4 different variables for this. Once again, so we have different variables to work with. So we have the int, which is a whole number, float for the decimal number. I mean, the number has a decimal point. Boolean, which is like 2 options, true or false, and string, which uses text. Okay. I can say at least for sure is it landlocked or not? That's going to be the Boolean. And now let's see. I didn't say like we have to specifically define a country, but yeah. So now first things first. We got to figure out which variable is going to go to which section. So yeah, as I said, for landlocked, that's gonna absolutely be a Boolean, since that's a true or false one. Looking at my notes, the country name is most likely going to be a string. Okay. The population it's going to be a integer, because there's like, you can't have like half a person. The highest altitude should be a boolean. I mean, not boolean, but a float. All right. That's it. I need to go back just a bit because I have no idea how that.
Have access country, okay, or this variable, and for this new string, let's just say we want to.
Let's see. Okay. And then, like, he wants it, it's like
over.
wants it
Well,
all
we
to
can
be
go
like
game
printed.
over equals true, okay, and now
Oh, okay. So first we define what each one is, and then we set the, and then we can set the change the value later. All right. So yeah, this is gonna be tough. I believe we could do it even if we're sleep deprived. Alright, first off, we need to like make some space so we have stuff to work with. So first things first. We need the country name, so that's going to be a string since that's just text. Variable string. Oh wait, oh yeah, the variable will be called right. Country underscore name, because it uses that type of stuff. Then do that, and let's see. Oh wait, variable country name. Oh, and then I believe it was a string. Equals that. And then for the name, I'm gonna call it Kuronicia. I think that's how I was supposed to do it, right?
press play. A core
Okay, so it looks like we got that section right. All right, so next up, the population. So let's set to the variable population. And the population now is going to be a integer. Integer equals we'll say maybe like 1200. I'm hoping I did that right. We'll see. Next is the highest altitude, so variable. Highest alt, I'll just call it highest alt. And then we're gonna make this a float. And we'll call this 666.66. And then the last one is landlocked. And this one's going to be a bool. We'll set that to true. Actually, set that to false. Alright, so let's test this out. Test this out in the output, bring this over, and we'll hit play. No main scene has ever been defined. Select one. Let's select the current. Okay, it didn't print out anything, so something definitely went wrong. Just wait for it to respond. Oh, wait. Did something... Okay, did something happen? Okay, hit stop. Alright, let's try that again. Yeah, it didn't like print anything, so... Oh, right, we didn't even set it up to print. So of course I'm not gonna do anything. Alright, so let's test things out. Let's print... No, not orphan notes. Print... country... name. There's something I need to do from here? Oh, we have to put it in brackets. Did I write that down somewhere? Let me check. Okay. Oh wait, hold on. Let me get rid of this. I just realized that guy took. I think this took us out of this original code. Seem to be doing something wrong, but I have no idea what. It's like whack. Hey there, taxable walk. Welcome to the stream. Welcome, welcome. Glad you can make it. I'm trying to figure out how exactly the code. Oh wait, it's no longer red. Oh, thank God. All right. Okay. Let me see if this works now. By the way, how are you doing tonight? I hope you're doing well on this Tuesday evening or Wednesday morning, afternoon, wherever you're at. Okay, cool. Okay, so it printed it out. Okay. There's a lot to write down. Holy shit. Alright. And now I just gotta do the other one, so. Huh? Alright, so I'll also set this up so it prints out the population. Oh, whoops, no. Oh my god. God, programmers are just looking at this and just smacking their heads right now. Because I'm just an absolute brainlet. Alright. Print that, and then print land locked. I like how it auto-populates with the variable names too. Which is really good. Alright, now let's hit play. Oh yeah, and of course we gotta do that one other thing. Put this down there, and we'll put landlocked equals true. And then we'll do print landlocked. Okay. And, alright, and then we change the value to make it true. Alright, cool. Now we can move on to the next lesson, which is him kind of like going over the answer.
So that when we press play, we can see them in the output. So have a go at that, and I'll be right back to see how you're done. Alright, so I hope you had to go at that challenge. Pretty much what we want to do is we first of all want to create our country name variable, and that is of course going to be done by using a string. So I'm going to go var, then I'm going to go country name of type string, capital S, equals, and for me I'm going to do Australia, so I'll write down Australia inside of the string variable here. Alright. Now next up we need our country's population, and a population that is a whole number, so that's going to be an integer. So I'm going to go var population of type int equals, and we're going to put about 25 million. 1, 2, 3. Okay. And then next up we have the highest altitude. Now this is going to be a variable of type float, okay? Because when it comes to measurements, you know, you can get very
just like I said, we just had to figure out which type of variable we needed for each part.
So I'm going to go var highest altitude of type float equals, and with the highest altitude, this here is going to be 2.228 kilometers, okay? Like so. Then what we need to do is have a variable for whether or not this country is landlocked. And since that is either yes or no, we are going to use a boolean for true or false. So var landlocked bool equals false. Okay, and there we go. So these are our variables that we have created. Now the next step is to go down into our ready function here, and we need to basically print each of these out. Now, the pass that is here by default, this is basically just a filler for the function, okay? If your function is empty, pass basically just is there to give it some body.
Oh, so that's what that is.
And we can go print country. Name, we can then go print population, print highest altitude, and then finally print landlocked. Okay, save that, press play, and we should see in the output here we have all of those variables logging to the output, which is great. Okay, so we have all that set up. Now in the next lesson we are going to look at how we can start modifying our variables in different ways, and that is going to be done via operators. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all then.
Okay. And now we can move on to the next one, which is the quiz. Okay, so now comes the practical part of this whole thing. Let's see if we can remember everything we learned so far with our sleep-deprived brain right here. How do we create a variable called score and give it a value of 5? Variable score is 5. No, there's no is. Variable score equals 5. Yeah, score equals 5. And score equals 5. I think it's just this one without the semicolon. What is the difference between an int and a float variable? Int is whole numbers, float is decimal numbers. Okay, yeah, that's true. And all this other stuff, yeah, that's the first answer. Static typing is where we define the type of variable when creating it. What does it look like? Wait, static typing is where we define the type of variable when creating it. Variable message as string. I think it's like variable message : string equals hello. Yeah, I think it's that one. Which one the code below is correct? Game variable game underscore over colon boolean equals false. Alright, variable game over string equals false. Nah, it'll just print then it just contains the text false. Game over equals false. Nah, that's in the reverse order, and that's just completely out of order, so yeah, it's the first one. Alright, we got 4 out of 4. Let's fucking go. Okay. You know, I kind of feel like an asshole if I like ended the stream here because my brain's a bit tired from work. Hell, I should probably be resting. Okay, I guess I can make this a shorter stream because, yeah, that's, I don't think my brain's going to be able to retain every single bit of information, not to mention coding is a whole different ball game altogether. So, yeah, I'm sorry if I had to end it early, but, yeah, I do not think I'm going to be able to stay awake for this whole thing. So, yeah, one quick series of lessons is always perfectly fine. It brings us closer and closer to finishing, and yeah. Oh wait, you know, hold on to that. I think I have it in me to at least learn about operators. Ooh. Yeah, because I'm looking at, like, the next lessons, so I'm thinking... I think I might be able to reach at least lesson 30. Well, finish up to lesson 30. I think I have it in me. Like, this next one is about 8 minutes, and I'm pretty sure part 2 is going to be going over the whole thing. Alright, I'm gonna let me take a quick break, and a quick brain break, and we'll be right back. Okay, I think we should be back at this point. Alright. Oh yeah, gotta hide this because I gotta remember this is not a free lesson right here. There we go. So I'll kind of like sit right here behind the spinnies, and let me get the bring the engine back up. There we go. That way, like, you can kind of see somewhat follow along with the browser, but you still can't really see it.
Welcome back, everyone. In this lesson, we are going to be looking at operators inside of GDScript. So an operator, these are basically symbols that tell the computer to perform certain mathematical operations.
Oh man, this is I can already tell my brain is about to get another beat down.
Okay, and there are many different types of operators. We can use them to...
Ah, okay, interesting. Oh my god. Multiplication and division. Oh yeah, and after this I do need to start packing my stuff.
Conduct addition, subtraction, multiplication, division, and there are a few others, but these are the 4 that we are going to be focusing on today. Now, for example, if we wanted to increase our variable by a certain amount, we would go, we'd first of all define a variable, num for example, and to increase it by a certain amount, we'd go num plus equals 2, okay? So let's hop into Godot right now and have a look at how we can start using operators. Okay, so here we are inside.
Alright, let's go back in there, because yeah, that's interesting. Alright, so we can get rid of all this because we're done with that lesson. There we go. Alright, and it's like when it's no longer red, everything's all Gucci.
Side of our script. Now, the first thing we want to do is go ahead and create ourselves a variable. So I'm going to go here, create a variable, and I'm just going to call it, we'll just call it num. Alright, we'll call it score actually, to make it a bit easier to understand. It is going to be of type int, and we'll make it equal to 0. So we've created an integer variable, set it to 0, then down here inside of the ready function, let's go ahead and print it out. So print score, and when we press play, we should see score, it prints out 0, okay, which is what we should expect. Now, so far, if I were to ask you how we can change the value of a variable, we've looked at the equals sign. So we've looked at score equals, and let's just say 10, okay? Now, this equal sign is what's known as the assignment operator, and this is what we use to basically assign a new value to a variable, okay? So we are...
Hold on, let me write that.
Equals sign. So we've looked at score equals, and let's just say 10, okay? Now, this equal sign is what's known as the assignment operator, and this is what we use to basically assign a new value. To a variable, okay? So we are setting score to be equal to 10. Now that's good if you know what number you want to set it to, but let's just say we have a score variable and we want to increase it every time the player, collects a coin or something like that. Well, when the player collects a coin, we don't want to go score equals 2 because, we don't know how many coins the player has collected. So what we can do instead is just increase score by a certain amount. And to do that, we can go score plus equals 1. Now, what this is going to do is it's going to get our score variable and it is going to basically, as it says, add 1 to it. Okay, so now if we save that and press play, we should see 1 down here in the output. And we can then go to a new line here just before print and go score plus equals 2. And that means that when we press play, we should see 3 when it prints out, okay? And there we go, 3. So basically what we're doing here is we are going line by line, we are adding 1 to score, then adding 2 to score, and then printing it out. So yeah, that is addition. Now, just like with addition, we also have subtraction. Now to do subtraction, all we need to do is go score minus equals, and then a certain number. So let's say minus equals 2. And then we can print that out, so print score. So what we should see then is we should see 3, and then we should see 1. So save that, press play, and there we go, 3. We then subtract 2 to make it 1. So that is addition, subtraction, and as well as this, we also have multiplication. Now with multiplication, we don't really have a multiply symbol on our keyboard aside from an X, but that is a letter, so we can't really use that. So instead, let's just say we want to multiply our score by 10. To do that, we're going to go score, and then we are going to add in the asterisk symbol, equals. Now to get the asterisk, you can just go shift 8, and that is going to add in the asterisk right there, and then we can multiply that by 10, okay? And then we can print out that result here. Now if we press play, you'll see we have 3, 1, and then 10. Now it's 10 because we are multiplying 1 by 10. So if we just subtract score by 1, then we should see we have 3, subtract 1, that's 2, multiply by 10, that is 20, okay? So yeah, that is addition, subtraction, multiplication, and then finally we have division. And division is similar to score in the sense that we don't really have a divide symbol on our keyboard, so instead we are going to go score / equals 2. Okay, so we're dividing by 2,
Okay.
and then we can print that out.
Okay, let me write all this down though. It's kind of like I get the pattern that it's showing.
So division is the / symbol. We can then press play, and we see 3, 2, 10, 3 to 20, divide 20 by 2, that's 10, okay? And there we go. So once again, we have the addition operator right here, which we are basically adding 1 to our score variable. We are then adding 2 to our score variable and printing it out. Then down here, we are subtracting 1 from score. We are multiplying score by 10, and then we are dividing score by 2. Now, along with this, we also have the ability to perform these operations in a bit of a different way. So let's just say down here, we want to create a couple variables, okay? So I'm gonna create a variable called a, it's gonna be of type int, and we'll make this equal to, let's just say 10, okay? Now you see I'm defining a variable inside of the ready function here, okay? Rather than outside. Well, you can define variables pretty much wherever you want. All that matters is the scope of the variable, okay? What can access that variable? Now, since I am defining this variable inside of a function, that means that this variable can only be accessed and used inside of the ready function, okay?
Okay.
If I go down to the process function and write code, it's not going to know about the a variable because it isn't a global variable, okay? Whereas score, this is defined outside of the functions so we can access it from anywhere. All right, so we have a equals 10. Now let's create another variable called b of type int. Let's just say we want b to be double the value of a. How do you think we could do that? Well, we are going to go equals a times 2. Now you see here that I'm not actually doing the multiply equals, and the reason why is because we aren't changing the value of a, okay? We are just referencing it and creating a new value, okay? So that's an important thing to know, is that we have operators and assignment operators, okay? What we've been looking at so far, these are all assignment operators, okay? That basically means we're using an operator to assign a new value to a variable. Whereas with just a normal operator, we are using it as you would in maths, okay? So b is equal to a multiplied by 2. That
All right, let me actually change this note.
are all assignment operators, okay? That basically means we're using an operator to assign a new value to a variable. Whereas with just a normal operator, we are using it as you would in maths, okay? Okay, so b is equal to a multiplied by 2. That means the variable b is going to be equal to 20, okay? And we aren't modifying a at all, okay? A is not being touched. We are merely reading the value. So this is basically the exact same as just entering 10 right here, okay? 10 times 2. But we are using a, which has its value. Okay, so as a bit of a challenge, I want you to go ahead and create a variable.
Okay, and now here comes the practical. This one shouldn't be too hard, at least compared to the other one.
Called money with a value of 10. Then I want you to go ahead, add 5 to it. I then want you to double that value. I then want you to take away 3, and then I want you to halve that value as well. And then finally print out the result. So have I got that challenge, and I'll be right back to see how you done.
Okay, so now we got the assignment. Let's get started with it. So for this, let me bring back up the engine. First thing first, we gotta like define a value of money. Is it money? And this will be an integer. That'll equal. Okay, n equals 10. All right, so good. So far, so good. Now we could go up in here. And then we gotta go and add 5 to it. So what we can do, I think we could just do. Hold on for a second. Oh, right. So we could do like a money plus. Ow, 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 ow! Damn it! I forgot that it was set to that. It's like plus equals. Let's see. I think it was set to like plus equals 5. All right, good. It likes that. And then we do money times equals. And how much does it say? Times 2. Next is minus 3. So money minus equals 3. And then money slash equals 2. Oh man, I don't know what's happening there. Alright, and then we can go ahead and then print. Oh yeah, how does he. Okay, print money. Alright. It looks like everything should be good, so if I did this whole thing correctly, what should happen is it'll take the integer 10, add 5, making it 15, multiply that by 2, making it 30, minus 3. Wait a minute, what? Half it. Wait, what? Oh, I pressed 5 by I pressed 5 because of the face thing. Right. I was like, why is it half by 25? Okay. So, we start off with 10, add 5, making that 15, times 2, making it 30, minus 3, 27. And then divided by 2, that would make it 13.5, I believe. All right, let's see if that works. Oh, I guess it just did 13. So, okay, so it gives us 13 if we do it that way. What happens if we do it like this? We'll call it instead we'll change money into a float value. Ah, there we go. And now it creates it as 13.5. All right, let's see if we did it right, or at least that's how the thing wanted us to do it. Oh shoot! I just realized. Did I Oh shoot! I hope I remember to upload some stuff. Yeah, let me check something really quick. Please don't tell me I lost the last part of Sekiro. Oh, okay, never mind. It's right there. Oh, thank God. Yeah, God, I was a little bit scared there. Just like that, I might have accidentally lost lost one of my parts. I hate how you have to upload stuff to Twitch. It's so annoying. Okay. Now let's check our answers.
Alright, so I hope you had to go at that challenge. Let's look at how we can complete it. So first of all, we need to create a variable called money. So I'm going to go var money of type int equals 10. Now the first step is to add 5, and to do this we can use the addition assignment operator. And to do that we can just go money plus equals 5. Okay, then we need to double it. Now the best way of doubling our money is to just multiply it by 2. So we can go money multiply equals 2, okay, using the asterisk for our multiplication symbol. Then we need to take 3, and we can do that with the subtraction. So money minus equals 3, and then finally we need to half this value, and to do that we can just divide by 2. So we're going to go money / equals 2, okay, with the / being the division operator. And then finally, let's go ahead and print this out. So print money, and let's see what our final value should be. So I'm going to press play, and we can see down here in the output, it is 13, okay? And that should be the value that you get if you did follow along with the challenge. Now, so far in our coding journey, we have been looking at a pretty straightforward order of execution, okay? Each line of code is being called. Well, what happens if we want to start branching our code, checking to see if certain things are true or false, and then running code based on that? Well, in the next lesson, we are going to be looking at conditions.
Yeah, that makes sense. All right, and now it's time for the little quiz at the end. All right, and I'll bring it up so we can kind of look at this together. All right, so if we had a variable called num, how would we add 5 to it and save the result to num? Oh, I see. So we'll do it like this: num plus equals 5. Yeah, because I also got thrown off by that one part of that lesson where it talked about using a normal operator, but that's only if you're like kind of creating like a new variable, or at least from the example I saw. If we wanted to combine 2 strings together, how would we do that? So yeah, just GODOT plus game. Which operator do we use to multiply? This one, the asterisk. Which operator do we use to divide? The /. All right, yeah, got all of them right. That was actually that was way too easy of a quiz right there. Okay, and now we're at conditions, and yeah, I definitely I think I definitely want to save this for next time, because yeah, just doing like half of the first half of the programming stuff. Yeah, it's like my brain was just barely able to kind of like stay away for it. But looking at the next lesson, so I'm like, yeah, I think I might need to take a break right here, or at least rest my brain. Sorry, it's a bit of a shorter stream than usual, but hey, sometimes it'd be like that. But hey, I'll be back again tomorrow, and we got art tomorrow like we usually do. Maybe I'll hopefully be able to start it on time since I don't have work anymore for the rest of the year. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. It wasn't too boring, or if you guys fell asleep, I hope you guys get some good rest. And yeah, let's see. I can send you guys over to the kind of continue like this vibe. I'm thinking. Wait, what's he doing? I haven't rated into him, but at the same time, I only got like 1 viewer, so you know, I'm probably just gonna end it here.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll just end it here. So yeah, hope you guys enjoyed yourselves. I'll be back in tomorrow with some drawing. Have a good morning, evening, afternoon, wherever you guys are at. See you guys next time.